I've made my decision on which new 2024 iPad I'm going to be keeping. Is it going to be the iPad Pro or the iPad Air? Obviously, from the title of this video, you already know. I'm keeping my iPad Pro. Got my $854 back. Hi, I'm Julia. If you've never met me before, sorry, I forgot the introductions. So happy you're here. But today we are going to be talking about kind of the pros and cons between each iPad, the ones that just came out this year, and why ultimately I chose to keep the iPad Pro over the new iPad Air. So I did already do unboxing videos of both these iPads, so make sure you go check those out if you haven't yet. Just in case though, this is the 2024 M2 iPad Air in purple, 128 gigabytes, and this is the 13-inch. Back here I have the 2024 M4 iPad Pro and 13-inch, 256 gigabytes. I think that's all you need to know. I decided to get 13 inches for both of them because I mentioned it in every single video, but I've never had a 13-inch iPad, and I really wanted to try it out and see what it would be like with the upgraded space and how much more there was to do on it. So that's why I got 13 in both of them, so I could compare them both equally. I have a whole list back here of my different reasons of why I'm returning it, so we're just gonna go through them all, starting with number one. Personally, I feel like this is kind of a case-by-case scenario and what your uses are for your iPad. So for me as a creator, it was just smarter and more logical to keep the Pro. Or if I choose to do any sort of editing or production or things like that on it, it's just helpful to have compared to the iPad Air since it has the faster chip and more capabilities in that sense. If you're a student and you're going to be just using it for taking notes and like having your textbooks on it, you could easily get away with having the iPad Air. So there are so many different little caveats, I feel like, and it also depends on if you're coming from an old iPad. Like some people are saying this isn't worth the upgrade if you have a previous iPad Air or a previous iPad Pro. I would just research a few different articles and see if anybody has some tips on whether it's worth it. Like there are some articles out there that usually will list out all the previous models and tell you if it's worth upgrading or not. So that is one reason why. It's just as a creator and for my job as a professional, it's just smarter to keep the Pro over the Air. Number two, kind of going off the same thing, that if there's any updates or new apps that come out, like the Final Cut Pro for iPad, I know I would already have the most up-to-date iPad with all the capabilities to be able to use those apps. Like I know when Final Cut was first announced for the iPad, it was only available to work on a few certain iPads, and luckily I had the older iPad Pro from like 2021, I think, so I was able to get it. But just in that sort of case, I don't know exactly the specifics, I haven't done any research at all, but in case there's anything similar to that situation ever, I know I would have the most up-to-date iPad. I am also one of those people who just like to have the most up-to-date version of everything. I mean, I have iPhone 15 Pro and 3 MacBook Pro and 3 iMac. I just like to have the newest, just so I know it'll have everything I could possibly want. And number three, that kind of goes into the longevity of products. If I chose not to upgrade next year, if they announce new ones, I know with just having the newest version that it's going to last at least a few years, if not more, because it is the newest of this year. So it ideally should be good for years to come, if that makes sense. Okay, reason number four is that the iPad Air still has the same liquid retina display, whereas the Pro has the new OLED display, screen, whatever you want to say. So there's not any updates as far as that on the Airs versus the Pro. I can tell just by looking at it how much nicer it is and brighter, and so that is another reason why I am keeping the Pro. Point number five, which I find very interesting, is so you know how the iPad Air is called the iPad Air, you know, it's supposed to be the lightest, easiest to take on the go. Well, now they have named the iPad Pro as the thinnest of a product ever. So, and obviously I do have them both. It is thinner, so it's like, where is the iPad Air coming from now? Like, has it lost its name? It's now thicker and heavier than my Pro. So where is the Air in the iPad Air? So that's another reason why I'm keeping the Pro. It's not like a make or break thing for me, but it is kind of cool that it is thinner, lighter. I really need to get a case for it though. So now that I've made my decision, I've been holding off on buying a case before I figured out which one I wanted to keep. But now that I know, I need to order one. So maybe we can do that together at the end of this video. Point number six, I am coming from an old iPad Pro. Like I said, I think like the 2021. So coming to an Air just just feels like I would be going backwards. So again, this is my personal scenario, so might not be applicable to everybody, but again, it just would feel like I was downgrading if I went to an Air instead of a Pro. Okay, I forget what point we're on now. Maybe 7 or 8, I don't really know. Another thing is the Air does not have Face ID still. It only has Touch ID with the power button, and it sounds like a silly reason, but personally, like, I have just gotten so used to Face ID from my old iPad Pro that having to now reach up and touch the power button and get it all greasy depending on if I'm in the middle of snacking or something while watching a TV show is just another small reason as to why it tips me on the edge to lean more Pro rather than Air. I just love Face ID. It's so convenient, and going towards Touch ID is just, again, feels like a step backwards. Another reason is that this Air is only 128 gigabytes, whereas the Pro that I ordered is 256 gigabytes. So just a little bit more storage for me. Personally, I don't even use that much storage on my iPad, but just having a little bit more to work with I think would be really beneficial on my iPad. So that's just another reason why I'm going to choose the Pro that I ordered. And again, I did place the order. I could have gotten more storage on this one if I thought I needed it, but obviously there's a Pro right here with 256 gigabytes, so I don't even need to worry about it. Okay, one last little point is the price, and this might be a little bit of girl math, I don't know, but in my head, yes, the Pro is very pricey. It's a steep price, which is why I ordered this one in the first place. I actually did order this one first, and then I wasn't even planning on getting the Pro until I walked into Best Buy on release day, and I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm just gonna get it. And I got it, and I should have known. The second that I pushed purchase, yes, accept this card, I was not going to be returning this iPad Pro. So my mindset is if I'm already spending this much money on the Air, almost $1,000, why not just spend the extra 500-ish to get the more extra upgraded features and the best top of the line product out there? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're already gonna be spending that much money, just spend a little bit more to get more for your money. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. Girl mathing, maybe, whatever you want to call it. One other question I was getting a lot was, since I got the Pro, why didn't I get the, I think it's called nano glass texture? And you guys, I really, really wanted it, but that was where I drew the line price-wise because it was getting very, very expensive with that. I thought it would be really cool to be able to go outside and not have as many glares and be able to work outside, but again, I just could not justify the price. That's where I had to draw the line. I had to draw it somewhere, and that's where I drew it. So sad, but maybe next time, I don't know. So overall, like I said, it's obviously a case-by-case scenario for everybody depending on your uses for the iPad, if you have one and you're upgrading, or yeah, all of the things. I personally don't think it's a bad option. Again, just depends where you're coming from. I will say it is a nice, more affordable alternative than the Pro. If you're wanting to get one of the new iPads just so you could get the new Apple Pencil Pro, which is something that is so sad and so frustrating that you can't use the Apple Pencil Pro on any of the past iPads other than this one or this one. Like, you have to buy one of these if you want to use the Apple Pencil Pro, which is a bummer. So if you're wanting, like, I had a few comments of people saying that they were buying the new iPad just so they could use the new Apple Pencil Pro. So if you're wanting to do that and do it on a little bit more of a budget, the iPad Air is obviously the way to go. And it does come in the cool, pretty colors. Like, this purple is pretty. It's not the most vibrant purple. Like, it's very subtle, so take that how you will. Still don't understand why they took away the pink. And another thing I don't understand is why they don't have all these other different cool color options for the Pro. I just don't understand. And they only had silver and space gray for the Pro. Like, what about Starlight or any of the other classic colors that we see? So, I don't know. Just things I'm wondering about. But it's also cool that the Air is now offered in 13-inch. This is something that's new. So, again, budget-friendly, bigger screen now. So, that's kind of cool. I feel like it's a win for the students out there. You can multitask with Canvas here on your assignment and Word over here and be able to type and do everything all on one big screen and not just something super small. But yeah, unfortunately, I will be taking this back to Best Buy and returning her, getting my $800-ish back. It's not logical for me to keep it and have like 3 or 4 iPads now, so it's going back to Best Buy. I might have already taken it at the beginning of this video, so I will miss you. I will miss the purple. She is very pretty, but maybe I'll just get a purple case. But now, yeah, speaking of cases, let's shop for some. Okay, I really like this one off of Etsy. I think I'm going to do it. It is a little more expensive than the ones on Amazon, but I think it's gonna be worth it. It's so cute. But I am going to make a list of all the iPad cases that I find that are like on Etsy and anywhere else like Best Buy and put that below, and then I'll also have a separate list of Amazon iPad cases that are cute and other accessories, and I'll put that in the description too, so you guys can shop any and all accessories that you think are fun. I love this Bluetooth keyboard. I talked about it in my iPad Air unboxing and I just love it so much. Definitely a fun accessory to splurge on if you guys are looking for something like that. So I'm gonna order this. I will probably do like a little unboxing and try on maybe on my Instagram Reels and TikTok when it comes in, so follow me over there. It's actually crist if you want to see that when that comes in. Otherwise, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'll also link the different iPads down below if you guys are interested in getting one. It really helps me out if you purchase it through my affiliate link. It helps me keep on maintaining this channel and being able to buy each iPad and review it for you guys when they all come out. So thank you in advance, but that is gonna be the end of this video. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching, and I will see you in my next one.